James Carter sat on the same old park bench he'd visited every afternoon for the past 3 years. The breeze carried the scent of roasted peanuts from the vendor nearby, and the golden leaves danced at his feet. Central Park in autumn had a way of softening the sharp edges of loneliness, but not today. James, a 56-year-old retired Army sergeant, stared blankly ahead. He had no one to go home to. Since losing his wife to cancer, and with no children of their own, his days had grown long, his nights even longer. The world had moved on, he hadn't. He was just about to stand when a small voice interrupted the silence. "Sir." James turned his head. Standing just a few feet away was a little girl, no older than 7. Her shoes were scuffed, and her pink jacket was too small for the coming winter. Her light brown hair was tied in uneven ponytails, and in her tiny hand was a handmade invitation with glitter glue. "Could you pretend to be my daddy?" she asked softly, "just for one day?" James blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" She held the card out to him. "Tomorrow is Daddy Day at my school. We're supposed to bring our dads. I don't have one, never did, but everyone will have someone, I thought. Maybe." He stared at her. Of all the things he expected today, this wasn't one. She looked up at him, hope burning behind tired eyes. He could have said no, he could have walked away, but something inside him cracked open. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily." He exhaled slowly, then offered a warm smile. "All right, Lily, I'll be your daddy, just for one day." Her eyes lit up like the city skyline at night. They walked side by side to a nearby apartment complex. It wasn't in the best condition, peeling paint, broken mailbox, but it was home. On the porch stood a woman in her 30s, her arms crossed, eyes cautious. "Mom," Lily called out. He said yes. Emily, Lily's mother, stepped down with concern. "Sir, I thank you for even considering. I didn't know she'd ask a stranger." James raised a hand gently. She asked with courage. That counts for something. Emily offered him a nervous smile. "Her father, he left before she was born. She's never had a dad, but she's had this dream every year on Daddy Day." "I understand." James nodded. "If it's all right with you, I'll go, just to make her feel included." Emily's eyes softened. "Yes, thank you." That night, James prepared like it was his first day of duty. He cleaned his only blazer, shined his shoes, and practiced saying "I'm Lily's dad" in front of the mirror. The man who hadn't felt needed in years suddenly had a purpose. The next morning, Lily ran to James in the hallway, proudly holding his hand as they entered the school together. Children filled the room, each one clinging to their fathers, some in suits, some in uniforms, some with beards and ball caps. James felt eyes on him, whispers, questions, but Lily didn't care. She introduced him to everyone like he was the president. "This is my daddy. He's strong. He used to be a soldier," she said. During story time, dads sat in tiny chairs as kids climbed into their laps. James hadn't held a child in decades. Lily leaned into him like it was the most natural thing in the world. She laughed, she beamed, and for a moment, so did he. When it came time for kids to present drawings of their dads, the teacher asked each child to speak. One by one, they stood proudly, until it was Lily's turn. She walked to the front, holding her drawing of James with a big heart around his head. "This is my daddy," she said. "He's not really my daddy, but he said yes when no one else did. That makes him my hero." James swallowed hard. His chest ached, in a good way. He blinked quickly to hide his tears, but the entire room was silent, moved. Even the teacher had tears in her eyes. After school, one of the teachers, deeply touched, asked to take a picture of James and Lily. "Just something sweet for our bulletin board," she said. What James didn't know was that she also posted the story on her social media. This man didn't know this child, but today he became her dad, because she asked, because he cared. The post exploded overnight. Within hours, it had been shared across the country. News outlets picked it up. People started calling James a real-life hero. Donations poured in for Lily and her mother. Strangers sent messages. "Thank you for restoring our faith in humanity." Then came the email that left Emily speechless. A local nonprofit offered to sponsor Lily's education, all the way to college. Another company offered Emily a stable remote job, so she could spend more time with her daughter. James was overwhelmed. "I didn't mean for all this," he told Emily. "You just showed up." She smiled. "That's more than most." Weeks passed. James started visiting more often, bringing Lily her favorite cookies, helping her with math, even building her a treehouse from old scrap wood. He hadn't laughed so much in years. He hadn't felt alive in so long. One evening, James stayed for dinner. Lily was chattering non-stop, talking about spelling bees and birthday parties, and how James was the best pretend dad ever. After dinner, he helped tuck her into bed. She clutched her old teddy bear, eyes fluttering with sleep. "Do I still have to call you pretend daddy?" she asked sleepily. James smiled. "Only if you want to." She turned toward him, voice barely a whisper. "Can I just call you Dad now?" He froze. 1,000 memories rushed back. Holding his wife's hand in the hospital, waking up alone, sitting on that park bench every day waiting for something to matter again. "Yes," he choked out, "you can call me Dad." She hugged him tightly. In that moment James knew this wasn't pretend anymore. It was real, and it was everything. In a world where loneliness often hides behind busy schedules and guarded hearts, one little girl's innocent question, "Sir, could you pretend to be my daddy?" just for one day, opened a door that led to healing, purpose, and the rebirth of a broken soul. What began as a simple act of kindness from a grieving man turned into something far more powerful, the creation of a new family built not by blood, but by love and compassion. James Carter didn't just show up for Lily, he rediscovered himself through her. Her need gave his life direction again, and Lily, once a child who felt forgotten by the world, now had someone to call Dad. The story reminds us that sometimes we're called to show up for someone not because we're ready, but because they need us. And in doing so, we may find exactly what we've been missing in our own lives. It's proof that love doesn't always come in the ways we expect, but when it does, it can transform strangers into family, wounds into healing, and a single yes into a lifetime of hope.